I think we had a project we want to spotlight. Is that right, Jacques?
We do, AJ, and I'm really excited about this. The associate we've asked to just to spotlight some work has been with the firm for quite a while, and has done a phenomenal job on a variety of different projects. He came to us originally from Boeing, where he was, or still is, very highly regarded as a fixer and the lead in the program planning and controls world. And he's evolved to be a program architect, a volume lead, a subject matter expert on proposals here for us. And so I'd like to, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Gene Satterfield, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the work that he's been doing for us. Gene?
Okay, good morning, everyone. As they said, I've been working with a client, Raytheon, Space and Airborne. I've worked with them on and off over the last probably 10 years. But over the past 18 months, specifically, I've actually produced 8 different opportunities for Raytheon proposals. And basically this comes about, I'm a management volume lead and an MPIMS kind of guy. The important thing though is that with this new coronavirus and how it has affected business, causing us to work remotely, it has provided me the opportunity to explain to program directors, proposal managers, the people that normally call me when they need something. I now have been able to explain to them that because I'm working remotely and can provide them the same quality work, they are basically getting my services without the per diem, which means that they're getting my services for less than it would cost an in-house systems engineer to do the job. That kind of tweaks their ears and gets them excited. Basically what actually happens, I've actually worked with program developers, program managers, chief engineers, and as I'm working on a proposal, I'm constantly developing the relationship with them, both inside of Raytheon and outside using LinkedIn, so that I can develop these relationships that anytime they need something, give me a call. If I can't do it, I will get someone to do it. Like I said, over the last 18 months, I've done a B-52 proposal, an F-16 OTA, RFCM OTA, NGJ LRIP proposal, a J-Crew OTA, and then 3 satellite proposals. And on the satellite proposals, basically the way I pitched it was, I will help with the IMS portion of it. Raytheon really doesn't like using outside scheduling. So I told them, I will set up the program for you. I will do the IMP, I will go to the SOW, I'll shred it out, I'll make sure everything is laid out so the schedulers and the IPTs know exactly what to do. And in these there's 3 satellite programs, HBTSS, Verona, and Helix. What I explained to them was, once I do the IMP for one of these satellites, basically, since satellites are almost exactly the same, you can leverage the same IMP as the structure for each of these proposals. Basically, you're changing the name of whatever the payloads are, okay? Just to give you a quick example of what I do that really struck them, if I can share content, let's see, share screen. And let's see, can you see my screen now?
We see. I don't think so.
No, okay. All right. Zoom, start broadcast. Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
Yep.
Now I'm sharing. Okay. basically, there's two things I do. One is, let me go to this email right quick. I have shown them the way we do an annotated outline for a proposal, section L. I do the same thing for the statement of work. And they were totally oblivious to this, but after they saw it, everyone buys into it. The first thing I do, I highlight all the shalls, a certain color, I use yellow. Everything that you see that's highlighted in purple is some type of meeting that's going to take place. If it's highlighted in green, that indicates a certain time frame. And if it's a deliverable, I highlight them in blue. And once I do that with the SOW, I then put together a matrix in Excel that identifies the whole SOW, parsed out with all the shalls. So in this matrix, when I give it to the IPT and the schedulers, they will be able to say, okay, one, here's the SOW paragraph. I tell them if it's similar to another program, okay, or if it's different, or if it's exactly the same. It kind of helps them judge the scope. If it's red in this second column, they know it's brand new scope in there, so they really need to read that SOW in the shalls. The white bars for each line, for example, 4112 systems working group, the white bar would say there's scope work to be done. So I expect to see that in the schedule. The blue lines indicate procedurals or dial items that need to be done. So I expect to see that in the schedule when I come back. And then the pink line indicates that it's some type of meeting, and I need to see those in the schedule. So once I pass this over to the IPTs and the schedulers, they can filter on just their work, their WBS. I map it to the WBS number and the IPTs. And then they have an understanding of what it is they need to do. And they have a clear understanding of what I'm going to check for before we go into a red team. Or in order to get the schedule out, I will use the same checklist to make sure that all of the scope in the program is done. So how do I turn this off? Okay. Did I turn it off?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Now, once I'm able to do this, like I said, it's a matter of relationships. And don't be afraid to use LinkedIn. Little things like remembering a BD director that came to do a red team. That is where whoever's doing a red team on my proposal, I make sure I know them and I stay in touch with them, because in many cases, they are the leadership team for other opportunities. And so I end up getting calls from people that maybe did a red team on a proposal that I did, or a pink team. And they will ask me, can I do this for them? And my answer is always, why, of course I can do this for you, but you have to talk to my handler. And then I direct them to Greg Ward. And because of that, we've been able to keep this wheel turning at Raytheon for the last, I don't know how many years.
It's been about 10 years.
That's it.
That's super. Thank you, Gene. You've been, I think you've been working, but I think you've probably been with the firm about 10 years. And I think you've probably.
I started in 2009.
2000, so 11 years. And yes. I think that, you've spent probably most of that time supporting Raytheon. I know you did a little work with Accenture, a little work with GA.
Yes,
you've
probably of the 11 years, I'd say at least 8.5, almost 9 years at Raytheon, one of the Raytheon facilities.
A lot of back-to-back work. You've been up in
Yes.
Galita, you've been down here in El Segundo. And I think what you shared was an important attribute, staying connected and developing relationships certainly helps, you stay connected and engage on client activities. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
AJ, back to you.
Great. Thanks, Jane. That's, I think what you do is it's an underappreciated art. And and certainly skill in terms of architecting programs, particularly how you just kind of showed everybody kind of some of the real foundational elements of doing that. There's a question about whether or not that if that Excel spreadsheet is auto-generated. I'm assuming it's not, but I bet you we can figure out how to actually auto-generate that. Gene, so do you manually pull that together based on?
Yes, I manually pull it together, but I'm quite sure you could do something to go in and pull all the shelves.
That'd be good. I think Jacques, we could probably think about that as another tool we can probably develop.
Absolutely, with a little bit of Gene's help, I think we can make that happen.
Yeah, I like how you do that. It's a kind of even though it's a simple concept, it's actually a very cool thing to do, and it's foundational. So thank you, Gene.
Okay.
And all of for the help you've been giving our clients for the past decade. So it's good.
And for the associates you've helped along the way as well. You've been a great mentor to a number of people.
Yeah.